All right, so check it out, right? So this right here is the countertop, and let's go ahead and UV this really quick. So you see these UVs. Also, those are square, but the other ones aren't. So we'll just do this. We'll isolate it. And also, because we have a top, we kind of don't need this top and this bottom face, right? So let's delete this one and delete this one, just to cause us less confusion, right? So we have this right here. We're going to go ahead and go to UV automatic. And now let's make them squares. So I'm going to select this one and this one because they're on the same axis, you know? So when you scale them, they should look the same. So if I press R to scale, see, I'll just look like at it like this, and let's scale it. And look, they look like that. So you see they're scaling at the same time, and I'll just look at it up close. Remember, you want to get all up in its face. All right, then boom, looks good. Send it to heaven. All right, then I'll just select these two because, like I said, they're on the same axis. Scale. Let's look at it. Oh no, see, look, these aren't scaling at the same time. Really what it is this. This one is scaling. If I scale both of them, it's scaling differently. It's just because one of them is rotated. So we type E, on J. This might be a little hard to understand, but you know the best way to understand it is to look at it like this. If we see right here, the one is turned sideways. So let's just turn it vertical. So I'm holding down J. I mean, not vertical. That was the wrong one. Click on this one. Hold down J to get the increments. Now it's upside down. So let's make sure it's now right side up, right? So you see the ones like that. With this one over here, it's going to the left. So let's click on this, hold down J. Yeah, now this one is the same way as this one, you see? So now when you scale them, they'll scale the same way. So let me look at this. Remember, get all up in its face, you know? And like that, yeah. And so now let's look at these squares compared to these. These look a little bit bigger. So I'll scale it. And sometimes you can even, like, to help you, you can I just like to pick a nice corner, and you could even like try to like line them up so that they're like even. And so you can say, okay, does that scale look the same as this one? Yeah, I guess it's pretty close, right? So cool. Since they're all the same scale, and look at these over here. This one's upside down. So let's just turn this the right way up too, just to do it. J. So you see the
How
numbers are like this.
important how important is it for them to be like the right side up?
It's not that important, but I guess for illustration purposes, just, I mean, for demonstration purposes, because when I was scaling these two, how one of them was stretching and the other one wasn't doing it like equally, I guess I'm showing you why it wasn't doing it equally. And it's only because when you did the UV automatic, one of those was flipped. So it's not like, it doesn't need to be like this. It could all be upside down, you know, but it's just to show you that, okay, this is why it didn't work like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So because it comes in upside down and you put a picture right side up, you know, it's all going to come in upside down. But if we do it like this, then we know that whatever we put on here is just it's gonna be more natural, you know? So like if I wrote my name on this in the UV editor and I put the texture back in, it would be the right side up because the numbers are right side up. But the most important thing is
Okay,
that
yeah,
they're
that makes
square.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just like a Christmas gift or a shoebox. It's almost like it's like everything has a wrapping paper on it. And what Maya does is it takes the wrapping paper off of everything, crumbles it up, and then puts it over here in this UV editor. And it's your job to like smooth it out. And then you can put your design on it. It's the best way to know how to explain it. UVing took me a while to learn. It took me a long time. I got it now. So look, now this is what I'm going to do. Since this piece is the biggest piece, I'm going to set this up just like this. All right. And I'm going to press R to scale. Remember, everything's still the same size. And I'm just going to put this in here like this. All right. I'm going to double click on this, or I could go to faces. It doesn't matter which one. And remember, I'm just keeping everything the same size. I'll put this one right here. And this one right here. Now these are a little bit too big, right? You see how they stretch out? So to keep everything even, what I'll do is I'll grab everything. Because remember, it's too big to like put on top, So the best use of our space would to just be putting this as close as it can be to this one. And you could even be staggered, whatever, but you just want it all to fit in here the best it can. So I'll select everything, press R to scale, and I'll scale everything down. Because once you get them to be squares, you don't want to mess it up after that. Okay, no problem. So yeah, this is fine. And then you would take this and UV it. And you apply your texture on it and everything should be fine. Okay. So the other thing is this right here. Now this is going to be a little bit different because it's all connected, it looks like. Actually, let me see how you did it. So it looks good, but we need to just do a couple of things to it real quick. So I'll just go over here to faces. I'll select all of these. Oh, whoa. Oh, a bird almost flew in. I always have the weirdest things happen when I record. So I'll select all this. And then I'll do a shift greater than, just so I can get like all this stuff right here. And a lot of these edges over here are unnecessary, which is fine. And what I'll do is I'll do a shift right click and I'll do extract faces, right? And that's only so I can have this be one object and this be another object. So this one right here, since all we're gonna do is really see, well, actually, yeah, there's a countertop. So we're not gonna see anything else but the this and the side. So I'll just do this. Go to UV, automatic, lay it out. We have this front right here. So this is the front. Let's look at this. All right. So, let's just rotate it just to do it. Oh, wait. Other way. Like this. Send it to heaven. And we have this side area. So this side area is this right here. Let's see if we can see some numbers. Okay, so that's correct. But let's scale it out to make it squares. Remember, get in its face. All right. This, let's put it over here. And look how it like pretty much, you know what I'm saying? It looks like this, just split up. The back's not important, bottom's not important. Which are all these faces right here, all right? So remember, these are bad boys, send them to hell. Take these right here. And give both at the same time. So let's scale them down so that this biggest piece fits in here. Cool. This piece right here fits in here. Cool. And then these right here. I mean, if you want to, like I said, we're not going to see them, but just put them right here. Press R to scale. There you go. So these are the ones that matter right here. And what you do is you'd send this to Photoshop, give it a nice texture or whatever, and put that on here. So we have that section done. This one over here, And also, I'm also going to do this. I'm going to take these faces just so it looks proper. I'm just curious. Control E. I push this in. Okay, that's another whole nother story. So I won't mess with that really right now. We'll click on this and do the same thing. UV automatic. Click on this one. This one. Isolated. It's a little tricky. It looks like he built the drawers in here. So another thing you can do is this. So check this out. I can select this right here because all I want to really do is get these front faces. Control click. So we have these right here. So those are the front faces. And let's just say I want the side faces too. So I'll I'll select all this. Just go on top, hold down control, and I'll deselect everything. So I just have the front and the side. Well, actually, I'll just deselect this. So I have everything that's in the front. Now look at the axis right here. It says Z and Z is pointing this way. So I'll go to UV Planar, which means plane, and put it on the Z plane and click on project. And this right here are those Z planes. This is that missing face right here that I deleted when I separated. And this is, what we have. All it is it's stretched, right? And look, the numbers are correct. And we'll, the orientation, which doesn't matter, but, just to put into context. Now I'm stretching it out. And the more I stretch it out, the more normal they look. Okay. Like I said, this is like the quick way to kind of get around it. All right, so that looks good to me. Now let's get these faces over here. So I'll click on this, which means it's this face. Well, it's a part of this like UV shell, double click. Okay, we have that whole shell. You see the U sideways, just for continue continuity. Go to J, let's go, now it's right side up. As you can see the U. Oh, look at those squares are looking good. Now, as common sense would tell us, because this is right next to this, it should be probably around the same size. It actually is probably about right here. So if we scale this up, these squares should probably end up being about the same size, because that would make sense. So I'll scale it up and try to get it as close as I can. Yeah, okay, see, look. Numbers look about the same size, squares look the same size. I'll just put it right here. The rest are our bad boys, so we'll select them, send them to hell. Take these right here, press R to scale. And another thing we can do to make this even more high resolution is this. Because this will be kind of large, if we scale it, it'll like kind of stretch and I'm making this smaller. So the bigger these tiles are inside of this space, the better the resolution. So one thing we can do is, because this one will probably go on top or something, so we can split this up. So I can go to right, click, go to faces, select, so let's select all of these right here. And then I can do a shift right click and create UV shell, thereby splitting these in the UV, as you can see, right? So now if I put this under here, and these right here actually don't matter so much too. So I could even like go further because, it's going to be like a little thin part right there that doesn't really have thickness. So it's not going to matter so much. So I'll select this, deselect these right here and do a shift right click, create UV shell. So now I have this. Now I can take these, go over here to my UV space and scale them down. And now they're bigger than they would be before. Because if these two are connected, it would probably be like that much smaller. And you see how like big this square is, meaning it'll be pixelated, kind of like how you see the U pixelated here. But if they're a little bit bigger, right? Now that U is getting like more crisp, the larger it gets. I mean, the larger these UV tiles are. So remember, what I like to do is get the biggest piece and get that to be as big as it can be. And I'll go take this. I'll just place this here. And so this one right here, I'll try to paste right here. And of course it's too big, so we'll just scale it down to make sure it fits in here. Okay. Now we take this. Remember, these are pieces that are going to hell, so we'll just make a little smaller. They're not that important. And this piece right here. Like I said, it's gonna be hard to see because it's so thin. It's not gonna matter so much. Place it right here. Then you can go in Photoshop, put your texture on that. And so it should look good right there and right there. And all you got to do is just keep in mind that when what you put on here, get some high resolution images, slap them on here, and it should look pretty good. And that's that. So,
Thank you. That was helpful.
oh, you're welcome. And this right here would be the same thing. Let me do this real fast. All right, so same thing. I'm gonna isolate, select it, isolate it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is this all one piece? Oh no, I accidentally clicked it. Okay. All right, so we have this right here. Want to go right here, go to faces, select all these since right there. I'll do shift greater than to just grow that selection. So I make sure I have everything. Shift right click, extract faces. So now this is one piece and this is one piece. Select this one, go over here to UV editing, go to, I can go to UV automatic. I select this one. That's all of these faces. That's interesting. So we're gonna see this one.
Should I split it up in two pieces?
Yeah, it would work easier. Actually, for this right here, you might even be able to get away with it if you were to remodel it to just do one and then duplicate it over. And you could do one UV it and then like duplicate it like
Okay.
later. And that might be a way to like make things go faster. Remember, you want to like
Okay.
cheat and kind of, well, I'm not going to say you want to cheat, but if you can cheat and make something look good, then that's a good thing. So if I take this, well, let me just start with this one. I'll take this one, do a UV automatic. It's a lot of stuff going on. So what I'll do is I'll select this right here, deselect these faces, just so I have the front. We look at the axis and it's in the Z axis, UV, planar, options box, Z, project. So now we just have this front piece by itself. Let's look at it. It's the right orientation. We can take this, and this is just like the scale. It's just like the tool gives you off the break. Doesn't matter how you do this. Remember, get up in its face. Scale it like this. Cool. Raise it up. And then we just need to find the side face. Select it. Look at what it is. This one right here. Which way is this facing? Okay, there's the one. Looks like rectangles. So let's make them square. And like common sense tells us, because it's right next to these, it should probably be the same height. Scale it up. So this one, and everything looks good. Our bad boys, send them to hell. Take this, bring it down. This is a lot of stuff going on right here. So what we can do is, to make everything better resolution, we'll select this all the way up to like this middle point. So we'll do about like 4 of them, let's say. Shift right click, create UV shell. So I have this now. And I go to faces and I'll do the same thing about right here. Shift right click, create UV shell. They're all the same size. Take them, scale them, put them where they need to be. So I'll just put this one right here. Get yourself a good resolution. And remember, if you try to get them in here, best you can just scale them a little more, which gives you better resolution. To your bad guys. I don't know if you're going to see that. Maybe you are. Let's say if you are going to see this, let's just say. Then you want to put it here, find the numbers. J. You probably want to do the same thing. See, it's upside down, but doesn't matter that much. And then we could just take them, shift right click, create UV shell. Like I said, it just depends on your camera angle and if you're going to see them. Yeah, those squares look about the same size. And then you just take all of this, kind of put it down here. And there's another program that we do something called Udem shells, where you can take these and put them across different tiles, and then you apply texture, and it all works. We're just not going to do that for this class, at least. Anyway, that's how you would do it. Like I said, I don't know if you want to see that or what, but just remember these are our bad boys right here. And yeah, and you do that and do the same thing over here. So let me stop this.